All right, what's going on, everyone? So I said it during the opening what we'll be talking about in this week's in the Mind of Haize segment, and so again, just to set the stage. So EDP445 is a YouTuber, quite a large one. He got taken down by this another channel called uh, Predator Poaching, or yeah, Predator Poaching, run by a guy named Chet Goldstein. That was his a fake name. His name is actually Alex Rosen. And so the reason why I want to talk about this, for one, is that, I'm a parent, right? And so I've said before many, many times how, anything to do with pedophiles, it's always going to be a something that elicits an immediate response and vitriol from me. I can't help it. That's just where I am. And so initially when this news came out, the EDP 445, which EDP stands for Eat That Pussy 445, right there should have been some signs. Um, I was gonna do and report on it in the episode that followed. I think this was about 2 or 3 weeks ago at this point. I was gonna talk about it, but I didn't. At that time there was still more details out going out about it. And I know we live in an age where a lot of a lot of our kids watch YouTube, and I don't know how closely everyone monitors their kids' YouTube consumption or what they watch on YouTube or anything like that. Um, this isn't to pass judgment or to talk about that necessarily, because I think you know his content is. It's not like his content was geared towards kids, so that's what I want to say. But with being as popular as that he was, I'm sure that a lot of he probably popped up in some of the algorithms, and so it's important that we watch and look at what our kids are looking at and consuming for things like this. Now, his content, what like I said, was not geared towards kids, but the fact that this guy was so big, and just to walk down what happened here, is that in this channel, Predator Poachers, they reached out to him through a fake page. They initially made the first contact. He responded. Chats and logs came out. Eventually, it went to him supposedly meeting up with this girl, where they had their cameras, their crew, and they busted him. Now, again, unfortunately, it doesn't look like any uh, charges are going to be placed against him because of the way that they did the investigation. The fact that they weren't professionals to try to do this whole like To Catch a Predator type investigation, and even with To Catch a Predator, which was ran by, was it NBC? I believe it was NBC. That's wrong. It's been so long since I've watched To Catch a Predator, I don't remember exactly which network aired it. But so they did this whole style investigation, and unfortunately, it doesn't look like I said he's going to face any charges because of the way that it was done. The police weren't involved with it. Even when To Catch a Predator did some of their investigations, which is something I didn't know about at the time, is that few, I can't remember the percentage, I think it was about 40% of even the people that they busted didn't face criminal prosecution because they were amateurs and unprofessional. They had police and law enforcement involved in some of these things. So when you have someone who's going out and just being a YouTuber and trying to do this whole thing, it unfortunately it leaves some gray area legally where he may not be able to get charges pressed against him. Now, I'm gonna shout out to Dan, because I would love to hear like Black Law and Legal Lies talk about this and hear some of Ann's expertise in law. And just but I think Dan's like me. I think this topic may piss Dan the fuck off as well. But nonetheless, outside of me wanting to hear some of my favorite YouTubers talk about, I mean, podcasters talk about this, is that, this guy, and he's been accused times before. There were, I think, like 3 or 4 different allegations against him that he either played off as he knew he was being trolled, so he played along or whatever else, and people kind of ignored it. He went back to YouTubing, and there was no problem. I think what makes this time different is that even and we'll talk about some of the issues with Alex Rosen, who ran this investigation. And for people who aren't watching the video, I did air quotes with that because we'll talk about that. But that when they got him on video, he admitted. He admitted saying that he was lonely. At first, he said that he was there to get a cupcake. It was going to be nothing sexual. But then after they brought up the chat logs, he admitted to saying these things. They're on video. His YouTube channel has been completely taken down and banned, both of them, because he had to. I believe his Twitter's been taken down as well. He initially removed a lot of his videos from YouTube I'm guessing because he probably thought that it was going to kind of blow over and he was going to be able to come back, but now he's been banned from YouTube. And he said that he does this thing because he's lonely. And when you look at EDP445, he's almost the definition of an incel. And he used this comedy, his page to get some of the darker shit out, but it's always been there. There's always been an underline. I don't mean to be one of those people who sits here with hindsight now and says, "Oh, well, we should have known." I'm not saying that we should have just guessed that it was to this level, that he was a abuser and a sexual deviant to this level on our own. But when you look at the allegations that have been placed on him over the last few years, that he was able to just brush under the rug because no one really pressed him on it or held him accountable for the accusations that faced against him, it kind of, for me, and this is what I'll say, me, and I was not subscribed to EDP445. I've seen some of his videos. He does a lot of sports things, a lot of reactions and goofy things, and they popped up, and I'm not gonna lie that I've watched some of the videos. But like, that leads me to this place in this conversation, is that when we're looking at these creators, when we're watching them, when we're whatever, consuming their content, and allegations like that come along, and then we allow them to brush it off. And when I say we, I don't mean me specifically, you specifically. I mean as viewers on YouTube, that people who watch YouTube videos. And there's been other one. What the beauty YouTuber James Charles, as I think's his name. I don't watch beauty YouTube channels, so that name may be incorrect. He's also faced some allegations and released a video of him admitting to some things. But what place do, as content consumers, have in calling out the bullshit? That's where this question kind of sits. And to highlight that more so EDP445, disgusting, deviant, don't defend any of that at all. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like he's going to press any criminal charges, but the thing that I think I don't know if I want to say take solace in, is that his life is going to be completely changed from this at all. I'm not sure 100% if he was making his living totally off YouTube. I would imagine with the number of subscribers he does and the rate that he was releasing videos and those views, probably a big part of his income was coming from YouTube. So that part of his life is going to be changed forever. Then the public stigma, now that he's on camera, and even though that the Predator Poachers page has been taken down as well, and we'll talk about that, has been taken down also, but that video is going to live on the internet forever. It's been news. CNN, I think, reported on it. It's been a lot of news channels who have picked up this story and reported on it. And I think the reason why is because the consuming and watching content on YouTube is such a big part now of American or worldwide culture at this point, that this is a cautionary tale, right? This is a cautionary tale for us to watch who we're supporting, watch who we're putting our time in, and also for those people who do just kind of give their kids a screen and let them go on it, is that now hopefully a lot of those people are kind of waking up, even though, like I said, EDP's channel was not necessarily a channel directed towards kids at all. The content wasn't directed towards that, but hopefully this wakes some people up. Now, the other side of this, the flip side of this that I want to talk about is Chet Goldstein, aka Alex Rosen, and the Predator Poachers, who the whole time that this video was supposed to be coming out, and they released a teaser first, then they wanted to make sure that they were going to be monetized enough before they dropped the video, all seemed creepy, right? Like that seemed a little bit off. If you have something and you have this video of this guy who was going to victimize a child, for you to specifically wait to you to be monetized before you released it, seemed a bit, it raised some eyebrows, right? I would say that it raised some eyebrows. And so, because you would think once this video drops, it's going to be so huge that you're going to get monetized anyway. But nonetheless, they wanted to make sure they waited till they were monetized. So this video drops, and then about a week after this video drops, if even that, we start getting some details about Alex Rosen, aka Chet Goldstein, who ran this. Well, first, the way that they ran this investigation started getting broke down when people started realizing that EDP445 was probably not going to face charges. After that, we start getting things and other videos that come out from this guy, Alex Rosen, who he's not only a racist. There's several videos of him saying the N-word directed towards black people. There's several videos of him making homophobic statements, and I believe he himself is a homosexual male. He identifies as that, I believe. Now, I read that, but I haven't got that solidified, so that's just me putting it out there in case that is true. Again, not that it matters or changes anything here, but he's been on video seen making homophobic statements. And then this video comes out that makes him seem just as much of a predator as EDP445. While he wasn't meeting up to have sex, but he's on this video having this conversation with this real 13-year-old girl and telling her, coaching her to take pictures more sexy, coaching her to take certain clothes off, taking her, coaching her to talk more seductively and do these things, which could be looked at as grooming. And he's recording this the whole time like it's funny. And so now his page has also been taken down. He's been blocked and banned from YouTube. And so this whole story and the whole way that this thing unfolded is just a hugely big cautionary tale on watch who the fuck you're watching on YouTube, right? And you know, Chet Goldstein in some of his other predator poaching videos, he's been said to basically proven to basically say, well, if you fight me, then we won't call the police. Like, coaching people into physical altercations to avoid them calling the police. Like, overall, this dude is just as much of a creep on so many different levels as EDP445. And so the whole way that this story has just unfolded, as someone who creates content, as someone who, I'm not a reporter, but who talks about stories and stuff, this is just such a clusterfuck to put it honestly and bluntly. It's just like, to the person who exposed a predator, not only to have videos that they recorded themselves of doing predatory things, but also being racist and homophobic. It's just like, this is like it's like a Law and Order story. This is like a real life story that you would see on not real life, but this is like a real life episode that you would see on Law and Order SVU. And I guarantee you, we know SVU rip shits from the headlines. This season's probably already all done recorded, but I guarantee you, next season of SVU, we're going to get a version of this story on SVU because it's right for that. This is mind-boggling. And so I know this isn't my usual things that I cover in the End of Mine and Haize segment, but it's wow. Like, it's just wow. And as I'm sitting here just watching this unfold and the different layers that come out, and you've had videos come out about that expose EDP and some of his past predatory things, then this Chet Goldstein guy, and more things come out about him, and like I said, the racist comments and the making people fight, and like all this shit. Obviously, so this guy Chet Goldstein absolutely, and I don't like using this phrase because it's starting to become cliche, did all this for clout, right? This was a clout maneuver to do this, and you know, it is what it is there. But then that his shit is so fucked up as well that now he's taken down himself by trying to take down a predator. It's just fucking crazy. Like I said, all the videos is on there. You can search it. Like the video of Chet Goldstein, the video of EDP is discussing as well. I said that. I want to make sure I say this so nobody thinks I'm trying to defend it. But the video of Chet Goldstein being on the phone with this actual 13-year-old girl, telling her to take off pieces of clothing and take more seductive photos, and to, you know, just like I said, grooming and coaching is fucking equally as disgusting as anything else in this story. But let me know how you guys feel about it, what you guys think, if you were following it, if you knew about it, if it's something that even came up on your radar or on your social media. I'd love to hear about it. Just let me know. But we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and take a brief break. We're gonna play some intro music, and then on the other side of that, we're gonna jump into the main discussion topic where we'll be talking about gear acquisition syndrome. I said it right that time, aka gas. I'll catch you guys on the other side of this.
This has been a presentation of the Breaks Media.